This week's episode of the Deck Chair and Yumz podcast is brought to you by Deck Chair and Yumz live at the Mandela Hall, Saturday, 9th of December. We have our Christmas office party is happening in Mandela Hall. You're all very welcome. Tickets are already flying out for our patrons who got a pre-sale access, but they are now open to the general public. So please do go buy your tickets. Go to eventbrite.co.uk to get your tickets now. And that's it. Nev, play the fucking intro.
Go. Mandela Hall. It's a good venue.
Spot on. You just cut over the whole intro there, I think.
I'm really sorry.
Play the intro.
Yeah, what's up, motherfuckers?
Right. You're very welcome to this week's episode of Deck Chair and Yumz podcast. As you know, Mickey is away gallivanting, as always. More holidays than Jet 2, somebody said last week. So we are delighted. We had East Belfast last week with William Thompson. We now have West Belfast now in the form of Bronagh Diamond. Bronagh, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. More holidays than Jet 2.
That's what somebody sent it in last
You know
week.
what
and
the
I was
difference
like,
between Jet 2 and Mickey is, though?
What?
Mickey always comes early. I'm only slagging.
Well, start as I mean to go on. I'm not saying.
I know, we can just talk smack about him because he's not here.
Well, exactly. That's exactly what we should do for the whole episode because that'll teach him to fuck off to Australia again.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's smuggling or what he's doing. I don't know what's going on.
Do you know how I knew I needed to get a job, actually? I was lying in bed one day watching, you know, that fucking Security Down Under, where like they go and they look through people's bags and stuff.
Nothing to declare.
Nothing to declare. That's the one. And I was just sitting watching it, like eating a tub of Ben and Jerry's, going, life is good. And then I found myself waiting for the break because it was like, coming up next, we found something really illegal in this guy's backpack, right? And I was like, fuck, what is it? What is it? Like, you know, really watching it. And about 5 minutes later, after all the breaks, it was like, that's right. Mikhail was trying to smuggle in this sausage, which is illegal because he brought it from China. I was like, I need to get a fucking job. Like, seriously, I was excited for that and then disappointed.
I went through mine nothing to declare phase as well.
Yeah.
I did my leg and my knee in about 10 years ago and I had 4 months of a leg in a brace and my daily consumption of nothing to declare got very scary.
Yeah.
I knew exactly the items that were going to be brought in.
You were telling from the x-rays and all, you were going.
I just knew by the type of people. I was like, he's got that fucking weird. Did you ever see this
bird's nest?
Bird's nest stuff again? He's got that bird's nest.
What
I know.
What the fuck is the crack with that bird's nest?
It's the weirdest fucking...
I was another one where I was like, oh, that's got to be some kind of mad fucking heroin. They were like, it's a bird's nest used for healing ceremonies that are now illegal. And you were, what the fuck? See the very fact that we both knew that?
I know. That's how much we've watched it.
But you were sitting going, I could smuggle stuff down my wee cast.
And I'm sitting there going, it's $2,000 a kilo. That's how we even know the price of it.
We're in the wrong fucking game. Jesus. Meanwhile, I'm out here fucking selling heroin on street corners for 20 quid
Could
an hour.
be worse. Selling heroin could be Herbalife.
It could be. It could be Avon.
Oh, Jesus, I don't go.
I actually did sell Avon.
Did you sell Avon?
I did.
No way.
Did
you actually make any money at it?
No, fucking didn't. I'm still in debt to them. They sent me a wee letter out every now and again saying that they owe them £63 or something. They're getting told to go and fuck themselves. I don't know why. In uni, they came around the door and they gave me the whole... They were fucking like Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, see, once they get in...
Oh, you can't get rid of them just
They
yet.
will not leave. Like, and then she was trying to get me. I hadn't even fucking decided to sell it myself yet. And she was going, well, do you want to... You can get your friends and you can make loads of money getting your friends.
The fucking pyramid.
The
OG pyramid scheme.
Yeah, I just sold a load of lip liners and then didn't fucking pay for them. Now I'm still 20 years later in debt to Avon. Fuck you, Avon. You can't get knickers off a bare arse. Never mind.
So, Bronagh, you are a fellow comedian. You're also a podcast host as well. Word Up.
I am. I have a wee podcast called Word Up.
Which is it named after the Unreal tune?
Do you know... It isn't, but it is. It does have that as its theme song.
Oh, is that the thing? Oh, right,
I
okay.
redid it. Like I was sitting one day and it was kind of stuck in my head.
Yes, okay. Word Up, okay.
And I thought, do that. But yeah.
So you're a weekly podcast, Word Up, and you bring guests on.
Yes, we bring guests on, and the premise is that It's to help you go from articulate to articulate. So basically, we teach you a load of words that if you really want to use them in a sentence, you're going to sound fucking class or really pretentious, either or.
Nice.
But we just kind of get delved in every week to like a new word, and I do a dirty word of the week as well. It comes out on a Saturday at 6:00, and we'll do it's usually some kind of paraphilia, like some kind of obsession or like strange kink.
Okay.
Although we don't kink shame.
Okay.
But well, we try not to, but usually it's just me going, what the fuck? Who would do that? Who loves to eat shit? Do you know what I mean? Scatophilia, or also known as, can't remember the now on the spot, but scatophilia, basically like people who enjoy scat play when makes them aroused. Human excrement.
Excellent. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent excrement.
So they just love that. Like, there's a guy out there, he gets called the London Vagabond, aka the human toilet, and he basically can't go out. Somebody farts around him and all of a sudden he's gagging for it. Like, he just absolutely loves the shit. Yeah, totally. He goes to nightclubs and all, and that's people like piss on him and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah. So now,
Yeah, whatever people are into.
if you're into
whatever
that
gets you,
kind of chat, then again, I am on your podcast, so I'm assuming you aren't shy of a bit of farting and shitting. But
Well, most of the farting shit usually happens on the podcast, and that's usually Mickey, unfortunately, that doesn't know how to control himself, as our listeners know, because these microphones pick up every fart. He thinks they don't, so yes, just pre-warn you in advance.
Well, and I apologise for the 3 I let loose.
So, so basically, you're like the Pornhub Susie Dent.
Yes, basically that is. That's. Do you know what, Connor? That's got to be my new intro. Not normally we'll go, oh, not dead, when we're getting onto the dirty word of the week, but now it's going to be now over to porno corner with the porno Susie Dent.
Yeah, the Pornhub or the porno Susie Dent. Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean, I do have a love of like words and wordplay. I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm well into all that shit.
I do think it kind of suits really well with the comedian sort of.
I think you have to have it, don't you?
have
Really?
to.
Yeah.
You have to be, a cunning linguist or a master debater
Absolutely.
if you want to be a good comedian.
And thankfully, we've a lot of experience, both myself and Mickey, on both.
Yes, true.
And yeah, it shows.
Yeah.
Hence why we had to get somebody else in, because he's that good at it. He had to go across the fucking world to do it.
I'm not a gynecologist, but I know a cunt when I see one. Yeah, Mickey's away licking minge. And
No, I don't know if he does that sort of stuff.
well, I fucking hope so. I would hope so. Actually, does he? Hold on. Right, okay. Yeah, we might as well get
I
into
did
it.
not bring that up. I did not. I would
Yeah.
not know them things. I'm not saying that you would know them things.
Right, Mickey and I. That's just. I'm sorry, Mickey, but it came up in conversation. Apparently, it's already going about the comedy scene. By witnesses who were there whenever we had a laugh together. I put Mickey on the spot.
So, right, okay, let's go. Right, well, first of all, so this was not recent, obviously,
Not
a
recent
long time
at
ago.
all. Years upon years upon. Back in my day when it was nothing but fields here. Mickey and I used to be like friends with benefit.
Okay. Yeah, that's what
Yes.
they would have called it in the early
Yeah.
2000s.
Do you know,
late.
and sidebar, right? I have a friend who is on the spectrum, has a wee touch of the autism. And his ma asked him before what friends with benefits was, and he dead ass turned to her and said, I think it's whenever you have a friend who's on the dole, mum. Right? But so he and I were kind of friends, and
I think the modern term is fuck buddies.
yes,
I think is
well,
the term.
yes,
but
but
maybe.
we made love.
Yes, sorry. That's
No,
what makes
it
it.
didn't.
That's what makes it friends with benefits.
Aye,
then,
friends
okay.
with benefits, yeah. And
So well, let's set the scene, because I heard the same story of
Right.
what you're not the story of you, but I heard about the conversation a couple of months ago
Right,
that happened
yes, yeah.
at a gig. So Mickey does have a line. If anybody's seen Mickey, well, you can explain the line that he has in his set.
right, I know I'm out in your joke now, but it's not relevant anymore because that story is gone, so he probably doesn't use it anymore. And what happened was we were all getting ready to go on stage in Dungannon, and Mickey turned around and went, here, that story.
The
had
usual
broke.
thing. Here, is this funny? You know that one?
Here, will you hear this? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
No way we do that anyway.
Yeah.
But
he does anyway, yeah.
aye, but there was that submarine had just went missing, and the whole world was up in arms
yes.
about what was going on with the submarine and the people that died and all the rest of it. And Mickey said, I'm going to crack about people saying it's a disgrace and all. People want to go down near the Titanic. And he wants to say, I sympathise with them because I've been down on a few wrecks in my time, right? And I just deadpan looked at Mickey and went, what do you mean by that, Mickey? Right? And he just went, beetroot. Like, you could have lit a cigarette off his face. He was that embarrassed, you know? And God love him. Like, I just really enjoyed pretending that I was genuinely offended, right? Because let's be fair, I think I was a bit of a wreck whenever he and I were hooking up, right? Like,
well, the fact that you were able to be, you were one of the people who could be, he was classing as being Rex.
Do you know what I mean?
You had to defend yourself.
That's it.
Because he made such a blanket fucking assumption.
It was, I was a wreck, like, seriously, right? And
you must have been, you went
it
with him.
It was fucking funny. No, but me and him had a laugh together. But the thing was, he really did think that I was genuinely offended, I think.
Maybe.
And Paddy McDonnell was sitting there.
Oh, well, fuck.
And
That's
Paddy
so,
was just
so
like
now we know how
this.
it's spreading across the comedy scene. Paddy heard it and went, okay.
He's a fellow Westie as well, so I'm surprised I didn't see a bag of popcorn coming out. Like, he just looked at Mickey and went,
there's very few times you can get
No.
Mr. Bartlett to go beetroot
yeah,
red.
and he
so
did, and I
that's,
ended up feeling sorry and going, breathe, I'm only joking, I'm only joking, I'm only slagging you, do you know what I mean? But it was worth it, like.
So how, you're talking about, well, this is the thing, so your comedy career, because I remember you at the early stages when I started.
Yeah.
Because you took a break then, didn't you? You sort of
I did, I went and I got pregnant again.
went off maternity leave.
I went off
from
on
the comedy
maternity
scene.
leave, yeah.
But I mean, what year was that? That would have been...
I
Was
started
it 10 years
in
ago,
about...
was it?
No, it wasn't. No. I only started because I wrote plays and things, and I got sober, and I went to myself, how am I going to humiliate myself now? Like, I cracked that joke. So I did comedy. It was always on the bucket list. I started about 2018, 2017.
Oh, okay. I
So
thought
it was
you...
that,
But I had known you before that,
and
but...
then I had another... I feel like I think I've seen you maybe at gigs that I have.
maybe that
I
might have been the
went
one.
along to.
Because I thought you were like in the air, like when I started around 2011, 12, that you were kind of
that
on the
might have
scene,
been
maybe.
actually whenever
So how did you?
I think
Yes, I was
I
gonna
met
say,
you
so
at a
how-
gig with Mickey before.
How did you meet Mickey? And
Mickey
then...
and I went to uni together.
Ah, right, okay. I thought you were gigging together. I thought that's where.
No,
right, okay.
we much more tragic times than that. We went to university together. Like he was
Here, like,
here
listen, we all
above me.
make mistakes. University, you know what I mean? I mean, that's all.
No, this was after university. I had my degree and all. It didn't give me any sense.
Fuck, I was trying to give you a way out there, and you fucking just cornered yourself again.
Stupid times. Oh, no, do you want to know something though?
I do want to know quite a lot of things, actually. I want to know size. I want to know duration. I
Right.
want to know moves. Who made the first move?
Who made the first move?
First of all, was there alcohol involved?
Do you want to know something? Actually, I'll give you this. Mickey and I had been out on like wee dates and all before, and nothing had happened because we were really good mates. Do
Right,
you know what
okay,
I mean?
yeah.
And we always just had a laugh together, and I think we kind of knew that we were just going to, you know,
Nah,
that was
you-
going to, and
It was in the air.
yeah, you know, it was just, but I actually full on. Do you know how you know he actually is a sound guy? I still really like Mickey. Like me and him have never stopped being mates or never.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's,
I just can't.
I think that's a testament to the kind of like person you are.
Yeah, because I know him so well too. I can't actually see him properly making a move. You know, like a move.
Oh no, he's got
I can,
moves.
I can hear him doing the talking into it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know about the actual. I just can't. I can't picture
No,
it.
I think
Nor
he
do I
was-
want to picture
I think he was just, I don't know. I was drunk at the time, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure he was a smooth criminal. Like, yeah, he has got. He can turn on that fucking charm. He's the
Oh,
gift
that's
of
never
gab, like.
off. Jeez, he's never off. That's for fuck's sake. I mean,
Not
it's-
that it would have talked much to get into mine. I'm only joking.
That was 10 years ago when you were young and
Do you want to
vulnerable.
know something? No, I see as well as not king shaming. You don't slut shame. Do you know what I mean?
No, and he
like
is,
it's all right for guys to get out there and do their thing and
Yeah,
fucking
he
whatever,
is.
but it's also okay for girls to do that too.
Absolutely. But
Girls
he
just
he
wanna
is a
have
slut
fun.
and he's not ashamed of it. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
and so was I, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was a single woman with only 2 kids.
But the good thing
who
is
went to
now,
their dad the weekend.
do you know when you start? Do you know when you start at that lower level, like Mickey, then everything after that's always good. Do you know what I mean?
Funnily enough, I met my husband not long after it. I was like, he's fucking great. He treats me well. He buys my pizza. I can't, Mickey, I had to buy the pizza.
Let's see.
Do you know what I
Bartlett
mean?
never buys food. That's probably. He won't watch this anyway. He doesn't like to watch things he's not on.
Yeah,
So
well, this is it,
he'll
yeah.
not know anything about it.
Funnily enough, actually, I got really, really sick. Speaking of pizza,
Being with Mickey?
I went to a gig with him one night where we were out, and he was about to get on. This is probably a bad omen. In fact, I think we parted ways not long after this.
Oh fuck, this is gonna be good.
I was sitting at the gig, and I can't even remember where it was. Wasn't in Belfast anyway, because we had to drive. And I took a wee sip, and I remember he had just got on stage because he was headlining, and I went, I feel a bit sick. Is it him? No, it's not him. Right?
You sure?
But then I vomited a wee bit in my mouth.
Oh.
When he started talking, I went, oh, this isn't good. And I remember running to this wee toilet and just vomiting. But then it was coming out both ends.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm here on a date, kind of. And I am just... But the good thing about Michael Bartlett is you don't have to be shy in front of that boy.
No.
Like...
You can talk about anything with that man.
He got off stage and he was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, I couldn't tell you. I actually don't think I'd ever seen Mickey perform comedy at all until I started doing comedy. Because that time I ended up boking and shitting. And I remember he was like, oh, you don't look too good. And I was like, you need to get me home. You need to get me home. And I was like sitting in his car in that wee fucking puddle jumper that he drove back then, all the way up the road to Belfast, clenching me arse cheeks.
It's even worse now because he's in a fucking low Audi TT, so you're on the
he?
fucking ground.
Oh, that's dangerous. Him and can you imagine him getting over a speed bump?
Yeah, I can. I've seen it. It's a fucking...
No car left.
I didn't say that like it was me.
It's a wee bit like me. The suspension's completely fucked. Do you know what I mean? There's no bouncing that whatsoever anymore. Sorry, Mickey. And I'm sorry for outing. Oh,
No,
am I
it's-
something to be hidden?
I was going to say.
Am I to be
exactly
ashamed?
why you should be ashamed. Well, you should be ashamed of having...
You should be proud,
You should
you know
have
what I
any
mean?
sort of relationship with Mickey Bartlett. You should be ashamed of yourself. But
Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
I mean, no.
You're not a bad
We
cunt.
do love him. We do love him.
you know what I mean?
But
So
it's,
long as
you are the
everything
first.
is-
So you're the first person who on this
Hashtag
podcast.
me too. Hashtag me 3.
Yeah, well,
And 4.
you're the only person who's ever appeared in this podcast to have sex with one of the hosts.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay!
yay!
Go me. Real? Are you sure?
Me and William were close last week, now in fairness, but this week
Yeah.
no. I mean, that's
Has
yeah.
Gaddis been on?
Gaddis has been on.
Have them two not? No, never.
I thought
Have known
maybe-
each other a long
I
time.
thought maybe it's somewhere along the line, but no, they didn't.
No, nothing.
The swords did not cross.
Boring bastards. Well, there you go. That's an exclusive.
There we go. So that exclusive Mickey Bartlett does
Yeah.
know how to be good to a woman.
He
Is
does.
that-
Yeah, I think. I'm sure somebody's told me he was all right. I'm only joking. No.
So I mean, that was, so you started 2017, 18, you got into the comedy then again. So, I mean, you sort of talk about it in your stand-up as the sobriety thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, obviously it's a very brave thing to do. I'm sure it was quite difficult thing to do.
Oh God, it was the darkest time in my life because the light in the cell was broke. Right? That I woke up in. But no, it's just, I think you get to a stage where you go to yourself, I'm not fucking doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to end up dead or possibly killing someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even that I was bad drunk. I was just, it wasn't fun anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without getting too serious on you, you just
okay,
go to
we can get
yourself.
serious in this.
You know, if you go out for a quiet one, you come home with a ruined life. Like, that's literally the way it was.
I can
I was
can
waking
relate
up the
to
day
that.
after a drink and going like, oh fuck, I can't believe I wasted my Friday night. And then, no joke, somebody turned around to me and went, what are you on about? It's Tuesday. I was like, how did I lose 4 days? Do you know what I mean? Like, I would have just flat to the mat, party. Can't do that, especially not whenever you have kids. You just have to grow the fuck up.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I mean, I remember my drinking days were being in excess too, and a lot of blackouts where I don't, and that's scary. That sort of shit when you don't. Like, that's
See,
not
the
good.
blackout thing. I laugh now, like we trauma laugh. But it's genuinely like the only way I can describe having blackouts to anybody that hasn't had one is, do you ever wake up the next day and your friends start telling you about this amazing film that they watched where all this mad stuff happens and you're the main character but you have never seen the film?
Oh, I've had
That's-
I've had the sequels, the prequels.
Oh, yeah,
the
all
TV
sorts.
spin-off series. I've had the whole lot.
Do you not really drink anymore then,
Not
Connor?
really, not anymore.
Not really, are you?
I mean, if it was 6 times a year, maybe, or something like a wedding, or like
Yeah.
if we do an event or something. But no,
Yeah, that's a real Irish thing though. See, ever since I stopped drinking, like I'm sober 7 years now, and you'll get people that go to me, "Are you sober?" And I'll go, "Yeah." "You don't drink at all, then?" "No." "What about just a wee beer?" And you go, "No, I don't. I can't. I treat it like an allergy. Like I'll start taking my clothes off. Don't be giving me anything to drink." And they'll go, like I get loads of people that go, "I don't drink either. I don't." And I go, "Do you not? How long have you?" "But I don't. I never drink. Only at Christmas and like my birthday and some weekends, like if there's a good show on and some." No joke, I've had people dead face saying that to me, and you're going, "So you do drink, you just don't drink flat out." Do you know what? In Ireland, that's not an alcoholic if you
no,
can
it's not. And
stop
that's why-
drinking for a day.
Even when I had to go and visit the doctor last week, and I got the.
Bum,
How often
finger
do you?
up the bum.
No, that's coming soon apparently.
Mickey's coming back. From
Yeah,
Australia.
I don't know what date that is, but whatever day he comes back. And the doctor was like, "How often do you drink?" And I said to him, he was like, "No, seriously." And I was like, "No, that's it, really." I was like, "I don't really."
They
He
don't
goes, "You don't
believe
drink
you.
at home?" And I was like, "No, I don't, definitely not. There's beers in my fridge for fucking months. Like I wouldn't touch them.
And you wouldn't touch them, no?
Just have no interest in it." I was like,
Yeah.
"No, I have a smoke, you see, so that's mine."
Yeah, that's
we all have
your
vices.
wee-
We all have our
everybody
vices.
has a
Everybody
wee
has a
vice.
vice.
And you know, I know so many people as well that like that I would hang about with that don't drink but have a wee smoke.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And I wish I could do that. I
Oh,
do.
have you tried? You've never?
Do you know, whenever I was younger, I used to pass the duchy to the. I'm only joking, you didn't pass it at all, right?
Don't share it.
But whenever. I would have,
Mm-hmm.
like, quite a lot. I had a wee smoke, and you know, I can roll an excellent 2 Skinner and all. But the thing
It's a
is.
woman to marry out there.
But the thing is, whenever I first got sober, typical alcoholic mindset, I thought to myself, do you know what I'll do? I'll just have a wee smoke.
Yeah.
Occasionally. I'll not drink at all because that's the problem. It's not me being addicted to everything. I can't even do a fucking scratch card. Next thing you know, I've bought the whole shop and bankrupt, right? Get a bit silly. But so I thought I'll have a wee smoke. And what I did was couple of weeks after I got sober, I was getting married. I got married a month after I got sober. And we were all our friends from London were over and we were going to the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. And I thought, now would be the perfect time. On an occasion, in order to have some kind of social lubricant, I shall have a smoke, right?
No.
So what I did was...
Weed is not a social lubricant.
It is not. It is not indeed. In fact, I really thought I was going to end up going viral because of the way I acted, right? So I, as usual, in Bronagh style, just did everything to the excess. So my mate had brought these truffles.
Oh.
And I thought, guess that. And he went to me, now be careful, these actually are real. He says, me don't talk bollocks to me, give me that fucking truffle, right?
Oh,
And he was going, take a half of it and see how you feel. I went, I've never eaten a half a sweet in my whole life and I'm not going to start now, right? And it was a really warm day on the way down to the Boucher playing fields and I went, give me it. And he went, you know, it was fucking Whoopi Goldberg moment, give me it. And took it off him and I stuffed it in my mouth and he couldn't even get it back off me because it all melted. It was that warm and I went, fucking rotten. Do you know what I mean? And I drank and it was gone. Bye. Rolled a joint, stuck it behind my ear and thought, I'll smoke that whenever I get through the gates. Right? And I remember people going like, you really, just fuck them. That's another thing. I have this thing where forgiveness rather than permission.
Oh, aye.
You know, I went, fuck him, stuck a joint behind my ear and all. And I was like, I'm away in. I'm going to sit here and enjoy the red hot chili peppers.
We should point out that's not a great philosophy for
Not
everybody.
a good philosophy in life for everyone, especially not like if you're trying to if it's something illegal.
Yes.
But, you know, people use that normally whenever it comes to, am I allowed to like cycle my bike on the grass?
Yes.
Whereas I'm like,
Yeah.
roll up the weed and stick it behind your ear, you'll be fine. Put the heroin up your hole, ask for forgiveness. So I was going through, everybody got in, and I remember Labyrinth coming out to open for the red hot chili peppers.
Mm-hmm.
And my mate who was on the plane with Labyrinth went, look, he's wearing the same fucking t-shirt he was on the plane. Even I changed my fucking t-shirt to come here, right? And that was the moment when, you know, reality and not reality started to collide. And I started to think to myself,
What am I doing with this English fucker here?
what the fuck am I doing? And it went from, I'm getting married in 2 days to, I'm getting married in 2 days, right? What the fuck am I doing? And he's English, right?
Oh, the panic attack.
Started to have a panic attack. And then it went from, that's shit. No, do you know what I did, Connor? This is shit. It's not even working. Edibles are shit. Edibles are shit. Spark this joint up and reef it, right? So I did that, and then I went, this is shit. Can somebody phone me an ambulance? Right? I was just like, I need to go home. I text my ma. I managed to get my phone out. The world was spinning. I looked at the message the next day and did laugh because it was one message to my mother. And it simply said, help me. Right?
Oh, fuck.
I thought,
to your man.
I was hanging
of
off.
all people, I was going to freak out.
I was hanging off the grass. I thought I was going to fall off the fucking earth, right? And then I had concluded, this is why I can't smoke, by the way, or take any kind of cannabinoid, because I came to the conclusion that I had figured out the meaning of life, right? Got all existential, started thinking to myself, this world is insignificant. We are nothing but a fucking teardrop on the eyelash of a giant, right? I'm going to float off into the fucking galaxy
tell me
right
what
now.
is wrong with that?
No, it wasn't. Because then I go, I should just kill myself. This is no good. I swear to God.
Let me jump off this eyelash onto the nose.
Yes, what's the point in even living? Goodbye, cruel world. I swear to fuck, it was terrible. And I just wanted, and do you want to know something? I had just been newly sober, and my mouth was as dry as a nun's fanny, right? And all I wanted was a drink of water. And I was going to everyone, right? And some fucker just like crowd surfed up to me, probably walked, but to me it seemed like he crowd surfed. And he was like, burger? And I was like, that's the last thing I can eat right now. I don't know why I was Gollum, right? Never in my life. See, if I had been drinking, no one would have offered me alcohol. See, because I was sober, it seemed like every cunt in the world was coming up to me going, drink up, pint, drink up, pint, drink up. See, that's how I knew my sobriety was solid, because I had a thirst that would rival like some sort of trial of the gods. And I went, no, I can't drink alcohol. I'm too busy having a panic attack.
Well, at least you were aware, even in that state.
True story, bruh. Honest to God.
But the thing is, I mean, you find then with especially with drink, like, well, here's the thing. So you ended up becoming sober. Mm-hmm. You ended up meeting an Englishman, getting married to him.
Must have been love.
You ended up turning to illegal substances. And if my timing is right from what your story is, this all happened directly after you were with Mickey Bartlett.
Long after, actually. Tell the truth. Mickey Bartlett made me turn my life around. He was my rock bottom.
You know, when you get to Bartlett, you can only go up. You can't get any lower.
Stop it.
It's just when you said it, I was like, at the time I was going, that was pretty soon after.
Yeah. Yeah, my life fell apart.
He's turned a few now, in fairness. He's turned a few people's lives around.
I was brokenhearted. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know whether or not I needed to shit or go blind. So I went out there and I got myself straight. Connor.
So listen, Mickey Bartlett, fair play to you. Listen, if you need anybody to show you where the
So what I want to
depths of
say,
despair.
Mickey, is thank you for loving me. Right? Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me that I am worth something.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mickey Bartlett, because you're worthless. He's gonna fucking kill me.
I'll get it first. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was Connor. Connor put me up to it.
All my fault.
Yeah, totally.
So yes, word up. Back to your podcast.
Word up, yes.
So every week, and then tell me this. I'm just going to ask you the most obvious question in the middle of it. What's your favorite word?
Ooh, probably at the minute, validationarianism.
Ooh.
Because validationarianism is somebody it's kind of like a hypochondriac, right?
Okay.
Hypochondriacs always think that they're ill,
Yes.
whereas valetudinarians are terrified of becoming ill, right?
Oh.
So whereas a hypochondriac might think, oh my
They
God,
actually think they're sick, whereas...
I have cancer.
Right.
A valetudinarian will be, I could get cancer.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Jeez, every day's a school day.
Yeah. And
Valetudinarian.
a valetudinarian. It's like those
that.
people who, but it almost reminds me of, people who love being sick.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know those people who fucking, you've been to Tenerife, they've been to Lavenous, right? I call them wee Billy two sheds, because you'll tell them you had a fucking shed out your back garden whenever you were a kid, and they'll go, well, we had 2 sheds in our back garden. And I know somebody like that lives down my street, and I'll go, like, oh, Jesus, I had a terrible migraine at the weekend there, and she'll go, you had a migraine? Well, wait to hear this. The doctor thinks I might have a brain tumour. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could possibly be a brain tumour. It's the size of an egg. You're going, that's your fucking brain, love. Do you know what I mean? Like, seriously. Do you know those people that stop?
Oh, yeah.
You know the way over here we'll walk down the street? This is another thing I love about words and, language. Like, the Germans are very economical with their language. They don't understand how we can say, what about you? But not actually want to know about you, right? They'll be like, why do you say this when you just say hello, right? We're like, because we're nosy cunts and we want to pretend like we're her, right? And she's...
It is that thing about pretending.
Yeah,
pretending. We don't give a fuck.
She's
but we
one of
want
them
to.
people, but that you go, you all right? And then she stops you as you're walking out of the street and goes, actually, no,
Oh,
I'm not all right.
oh, that's a life drainer, that one.
Lady.
Oh.
And you go, fuck, I have to get the kids. Do you know what I mean? You go, no.
Yeah.
Like, they actually want to tell you how they are.
There's not enough
And you're like,
energy
I'm
in
sorry,
the world.
I didn't mean to give you the impression that I actually cared. It's terrible state of
Terrible,
affairs.
but true.
Yeah. Like, do you know any valetudinarians or any hypochondriacs?
Yeah, I would have a few people I would know in my family who would have that fear of being sick.
It's like you're too busy getting afraid.
They weren't good over COVID. Now I have to say.
Oh, really?
It was a fear for them. Which I feel for them, because it is a thing to struggle with. If they're not germaphobes as such, but there was just that.
Do you ever notice that some people that are germaphobes are dirty bastards? Like, look at Howard Hughes, right? He was a germaphobe, but apparently he was rotten. There was more life on him than there was in him, right?
He was.
The big nails and all the rest of it. But I was actually... So my husband is an electrician, right? And he goes into people's houses for a living, right? And he said to me, I would love to do a TV show for a week where you came to work with me. And I was like, well, for a start, that wouldn't work because I don't, right? But he was like, no, you would love it. Like, you would have the crack with the lads, but you would also, you'd get because I'm nosy, right? I am a nosy.
Oh, are you a nosy?
I am very nosy. I wouldn't say nosy in that occur. Just nosy as in there was a fight in our street before. And I'm the type of person that gets up and opens the blinds and looks out the window and turns the light off,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Whereas he's the kind of person that goes, what are you doing? Sit down. And I'm going, no. So one night
That's a working class thing, but I think...
yeah.
I agree. Our estate was the same. And our estate, there was usually... there was a traveller family who fought all the time.
That's prime time. That is cancel your ska account.
But the problem is the way the rows of houses were situated was the only window that had a view of where the action was our bathroom. Right? And I'm not joking you. You'd get up, you'd hear the thing, because it would always happen after a pub, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
You get up and you go, oh.
And
you knock the top bunk and you tell the brother, they're fighting. And you go in thinking you're going to get into the bathroom in peace. No, my man dad's already there standing.
And is it the wee tiny window
tiny
that
window.
they're trying to look through?
So us two get into the bath to get the height up to see, and they're two looking out and everybody's staring. And then you look out and everybody else is in their windows, all staring out looking the same way too.
Meanwhile, your sister's sitting there going, will you get out and let me wipe my arse for fuck's sake?
No, thankfully it was just no sisters.
Without being travelist here, The travellers are a great bunch of people to like
yeah.
bear witness upon whenever they're fighting, because they get medieval.
Oh,
They love a
fuck yeah.
sword and all, and an axe. Do you know what I mean? You never hear like there was traveller family shot someone dead. It's like axed his head off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, fuck me, that's brutal. Like,
Oh, we've seen full-on fucking vans being just driven into other vans. You know, like fucking
yeah,
Grand
good
Theft Auto
stuff.
special. Like, oh,
yeah, definitely. Well, I was sitting looking out my window one night, and it happened to be I was watching the TV. And I'd made myself a big bowl of that. You know, the popcorn, it's never quite as nice, but you think you're doing something. And you stick it in the microwave. And I was sitting there munching on a big plastic bowl of popcorn, watching the TV. And I heard, is that fucking right? No, yeah. And cars, see whenever you hear the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Always
go,
you hear that, that's it. Yeah.
they've got the reinforcements. Like, this is going to be a good one. Do you know what I mean? So the window was open. It was a summer night. And I thought, fucking right. So it knocked the TV off. And I get up to the window, so there was no light. The trick is not to have any light behind you.
Never put a light on.
Because
they
then
know
they'll
you
see
you're
you're in
watching.
the window.
Yeah. Even in your bathroom when it's going those
Exactly.
fucking fucked
The wee
up
blurry
ones. You still
I
see.
once full on watched somebody having a shit.
I
am a nosy
I have
bastard.
to tell the old house we used to live in, the bathroom, whenever me and my wife first moved into the house together, the bathroom faced out onto the main road.
Ooh.
Right, and because it was blurry, she just thought, well, nobody can see nothing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I used to live here. I can see every
Yeah.
curve, every shape.
Yes.
You might not make out, but you know.
We can see
this
many
fucking-
sheets if that's 2-ply or 3-ply you're using.
Pull the blinds.
Yes.
It's only blurry. It's not fucking completely
That's good. But see,
block everything out.
I don't know what it is. I was talking about this on the podcast about the phenomenon of lavenous, right? That stuff they teach you up in Derry whenever me and Mickey were doing our degree. And it's
I
about
thought you were going to say doing each other.
no, not then. No. Had standards back then. I'm only joking. It's about like how you can experience something in a live audience or in a live experience, and you just will not. There's a phenomenon there that you can't quite describe. And so I remember there was that case, the flat across from us, they didn't realize, the American exchange students hadn't realized that frosted glass doesn't actually make you unidentifiable. No. And
Especially at night time, you turn the light on.
like, they're shitting again. And you used to be sitting there and you go, oh, there's no toilet roll, plot twist. And you'd see them getting up. Look, oh, he's ripping the cardboard. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, do you remember them days when you're fucking tearing up the cardboard
see,
roll?
whenever you've turned up that
like
cardboard,
the fucking,
you know,
like you're in Demolition Man. Remember the 3 seashells? You're fucking, you're
know that your
scraping
life
shite out with a fucking toilet roll cardboard.
Yeah, definitely. And then that's another thing. Oh yeah, so back to the popcorn. I was at the window eating the popcorn, looking out, and Curtis came up to me, my husband, and went, "What the fuck? You've actually gone and got fucking Bronagh." And I was there with a mouthful of popcorn, trying to describe to him how I didn't go and get popcorn to watch the fight. I was eating the popcorn
Just happened to be
already.
there, pure
and to
fucking
this
good
day,
luck.
he loves telling people that I went and actually got popcorn to watch a fight. When I didn't. But to be fair, I don't give a fuck anyway. If you're going to put on a show, I'm going to watch it.
Absolutely.
what I
That's
mean?
exactly our rule too.
But just back to the shit.
Yes.
See, whenever you've torn up that cardboard, you know you're in poverty. Don't
Oh,
you?
absolutely.
Or at
Oh,
least living in a really unorganized world where you can't.
yeah, we had both.
That's a good thing about having kids, though, isn't it? Have you ever
Baby
shouted
wipes?
to them, "Get us a toilet roll! Get us a toilet!" And do you know what really breaks my heart with the cuteness of it? My kids can't stand each other, but they still will use each other as like toilet roll ambassadors.
Oh,
Do you know, I'll hear Barry shouting down, Kai! And you know it must be serious because they're actually not going, "I hate you." They're like, "I need a toilet roll, please, Kai. Please, I'll let you be Mario next time in the Super Smash Battle. Like, I'll let you. I'll give
Negotiating from the shitter.
Exactly. Yes, I'll give you my left DS controller if you just. I'll give you my left, not just please give me the toilet roll. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, that's a great equalizer.
Yeah.
Among men.
Absolutely. And I think I have a hang up on that. I make sure there's fucking loads of toilet rolls in our bathrooms now.
Do you have maybe too many toilet rolls?
Way too many.
A pyramid.
Like I've got a stack of like the 4, and then there's a basket in the corner with another
Do you
8.
with like loads?
Yeah.
Were you one of those? What were you
Just
like during
because I didn't give a shit about that. Just because all my life, that shit of fucking scraping, never again will I ever have suffered through that.
Yeah.
So no matter what else is going on in our house, there's always fucking toilet roll.
COVID? Yeah. Our mas and dads like to tell you, like back in my day, it used to be a piece of fucking newspaper on a nail out the back, a rusty nail. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, my ma actually walked into my house and shamed me the other day, and now it just so happened to be I have an upstairs toilet and a downstairs toilet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the downstairs toilet would recently just got it all done, and it has a specific kind of toilet seat on it. It's almost like a square.
Right.
So one of the kids had clearly been in there because the cistern get broke and the toilet seat get broke, right? Just happened, mummy, right?
course,
Just walked out. Place was literally demolished. I don't know what happened. It just fell, right? They were fucking standing on it, but you can't prove anything because they don't let you put cameras in toilets anymore. And
Anymore,
right? And my ma came in, so we were between toilet seats
Mm-hmm.
because I had to order the special one online to come out.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And my ma has this way of doing things, you know, where she'll think she's being subtle. But she came in, she was like, I'm just going to the loo, Bronagh. And then she came out of the bathroom and she was drying her hands and she went, do you ever see whenever you go into somebody's house and they don't have a toilet seat on their toilet? And I went, right? And she went, do you not think it just screams poverty? But and I went, Mummy, I know I don't have a toilet seat on the toilet. She was going, oh no, I'm not saying that. I know you can afford to replace your toilet seat, like, and that you will replace your toilet seat immediately. But I'm just saying that it screams poverty.
Just in case you didn't know what
Just
other
in
people
case you
thought
didn't
about
know,
it, like,
so
yeah,
maybe don't let anybody else go to your toilet. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
there's nothing like Maz to keep you fucking grounded, like, yeah.
Just, they do.
Oh,
They
big
definitely
time.
keep you grounded.
That is their fucking job,
All
absolutely.
the way. Like, I can't see if I put on I love her. Like, my ma is like my best mate in a lot of ways and my worst enemy. But like, my skin's broke out at the minute and you walk in and she'll go, what happened to your face? What do you mean? You're very broke out looking. If you got your period, are you pregnant? Are you? And you're like, no, mummy, I've just been eating loads of fucking chocolate and I'm a fat bastard. Yeah, you have put on a few lbs.
I am now witnessing it firsthand where my wife is doing that to my daughter. Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, and the daughter's complaining to her
Why,
about
what does
why do
she
you always
do?
pick just all that sort of stuff.
Does that kind of thing?
Oh, look at that spot. Oh, it looks sore.
Sore. That's a way to. I'm sympathising with you, but I'm also telling you how disgusted I am. Yeah. It looks dead painful. Like it looks like it's about to go.
I know, mummy. I know it's there. You don't need to point out.
And then you get the hair thing. No, mum, that's why teenagers all walk around like that. Although I had
She can't do that anymore. She's fucking 19 now. She has to stop. She tries it, but it doesn't work. You're like, fuck away off. I'd let.
No, they refused her passport photograph last time because of that. My aunt she gets it, like, even Irish aunts, you don't escape them.
Oh, yeah.
My aunt is the master of, like, the shit sandwich. In fact, it's not so much a shit sandwich because you don't get the compliment, the insult, and the compliment. She just gives you a compliment with it's a shit open sandwich.
Shit's gone.
It's an open shit sandwich, yeah.
An open shit sandwich.
I remember I was going through, whenever you're going through your real awkward stage as a teenager and you won't go and buy toilet roll or anything because then people will know you shit or you go to the toilet. And she went to me, oh, Bronagh, love, I haven't seen you in ages. And I went, okay, how are you? And she went, your skin's really clearing up because I had really bad acne.
Right.
She goes, your skin's really clearing up. And I went, thank you. And she went, down this side of her face. Like, your skin's getting really clear on this side. And I was like, thanks. I'll just go out and fucking meet up with Phantom of the Opera then and get myself a mask. Live the rest of my days.
Fucking Harvey Two-Face.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, she's the type of person that would tell you that fucking, like, one of your arms is skinny. Like, that's the way she
You
is.
could do something about it. Like.
Yeah, the real master of that. She's fucking proficient at it. Like, you know, like, yeah, you don't look as fat in that dress as you did in the one you wore on your wedding day. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mighty. Fucking mighty. They
Excellent
are
stuff.
experts at it, absolutely. I don't know if
Yeah.
it comes, I don't know if it's genetic or if it's a cultural thing or is it both.
Yeah, I think
But,
all
yeah.
cultures have, like, some variation of it, don't they?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely, yeah.
It can't be typically Irish. It's just that we're brutal.
Well, you see it sometimes in like the American like TV shows where like you would see like a stereotypical Jewish mum
Yeah.
would be quite Irish in her
Yeah.
tone and the way she sort of would constantly be at the sons and constantly be giving them grief and stuff like
To
that.
get married. Did your ma ever give you grief to get married?
No, fuck no. Like my ma was young when she had me, so like I made my ma a granny at 40.
Really?
Yeah, so she was a granny at 40, so she was quite young.
I have a mate who was a granda at 31. He's 36 now.
Holy fuck.
But in saying that, he had his kid whenever he was like 15.
Well, my ma had me at 18, and then we had Mia when I was 22.
And you made her a granny at 40. What was she like? Was she doing?
She was grand, 100%. She's
Yeah.
deadly, yeah, 100%.
She's like, I look too good to be a granny, don't I?
Well, this is the problem, you see, right? So it's always been a thing because I look that much older than I am. She
You
looks
don't?
a bit younger than she is. So
Ooh.
whenever, and we worked in the same sector, in the community sector.
Mm.
So then people were like, "Oh, is this your brother?" When she'd meet her, and I'd be like, "No, I'm her son." And that was like say 10, 15 years ago,
That
right?
is peak. Your ma.
No,
and
no,
something
no,
else.
no. It gets worse. Somebody said the other day, "What about your husband? Is he still doing the comedy?"
No, it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? You like?
Well, I wasn't there, but I was like, "I hope the
Yes.
fuck you cleared up." She goes, "No, I just let them know." I was like, "Oh, you fuck."
Oh, she loved it. I like your mummy.
Somebody came running past our house, and I know he listens to the podcast. I forget his name, but he came running past, and I talk about Ruby. Ruby's our child with special needs, but she would talk to everybody that goes past and has to get their attention. So she got the attention of this runner one day, and then another day he came past, so he knew I lived there. He sent me a message, went, "Oh, that was me that said hello to you," and went past. And I was like, "Okay."
Oh, great.
So next time he went past, Ruby was out, and my ma was standing at the wall, and he was running, so he was in mid-flight.
Yeah.
And Ruby was like, "Hello," and he was like, "Hello, there's Ruby, the Ruby the legend." And he goes past, he goes, "Oh, and you must be her," and he runs on. I was like, "No, that's not my wife, that's my mother." But he was gone. He had ran on, and I was like, I can't.
You sitting there holding a banner for him coming by the next morning? That was my ma.
I do not ride my mum.
Well,
Well, it's her own, like, you know what I mean?
yeah, well, you know, you could do worse.
But yeah, that was like, well, is your husband still doing the comedy? And
That is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it you're Mazzy on my mummy then?
No, she's
No, you're saying that because you're a son. Do you know what we need to do though? We need to set it up one day where, right, we'll all meet your mummy and we'll go, you're Connor's granny. It's lovely to meet you. You know,
now
just
we're talking.
even,
Now we're fucking talking.
even the scale a wee
because
bit.
yes, that would actually make a lot more sense to me.
No,
and
she'll
I love
actually
that.
hate me, but I actually sounds like a legend. She does.
That actually happened to me recently. A photographer for the local paper was he rang me and he said, "I was chatting to your wife earlier on, and she was talking about she's got photographs of the hailstones, right? So there was a mad hailstone shower here, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and they were like fucking, you know, they always say the hailstones like golf balls. These were these big chunks.
They actually
and
were?
my wife had went out and taken photographs of it, right?
Yeah.
And I should point out, I live next door to my mum and dad.
Oh, right.
So, and I was like,
That's a baller move, moving in next to your man dad. Constant backup in a fight.
genius. So I said to him, I was like, "All right, because she had shown me them. I was like, yeah. And
Come
I
on, see my balls, Connor.
and I thought, right, because I thought, what the fuck were you doing chatting to her? Because you're the photographer for the paper or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said, "Where did you see my wife?" And he was like, "In the community house." And I was like, "Are you sure? The community house?" I was like, "What's my wife's name?" He went, "Geraldine." I went, "Fucking." I said, "That's my mother." He goes, "Fuck away off, yeah." You know, seriously, I was chatting to your wife, and I was like, "No, that is my mother."
That's my
And he goes, "No, you're." And he arguing with me. He goes, "No, the woman I was chatting to, the woman that you're." I was like, "That's my fucking mother."
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Please tell me that that your wife looks younger than your mummy. She does. So when everybody
Yes.
sees your
No.
when everybody sees your wife about you, they go, I was talking to your daughter the other day.
No, she looks old as fuck.
Nah, in fact, she's married to you. For fuck's sake.
Fairness to her.
You've
would
aged
age
her.
anybody, yes, in fairness. So no, that's the joy I have to put up with now. But it used to be bad enough being brother, but now being husband is a whole new level of things.
Yeah, now you're the husband. Oh my God. Do you think like maybe this time next year they're going to go
Right, that's
you,
enough now.
your
Don't go any further
granda?
than that. Next I'll be her dad.
You said I said granda. I went straight to granda,
Straight to
but
granda.
sure. Yeah.
So, Bronagh, thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you
We
for
do
having
have a
me.
questions episode. We'll do that now very quickly.
Yes.
We'll go straight on to that. So, for anybody that's listening that's not a patron, you're missing out on the questions because we have a couple of doozies in there. So, we're going to
Give
be
him a
ready
couple
for
of
you.
quid. Go be Patreon-y.
Hi, Patreon. Thank you, everybody. As always, go and subscribe to Bronagh's podcast.
Please
Word
do.
Up.
Word up.
You're on YouTube as well as
I'm on
the
YouTube,
all platforms,
Spotify,
all
all
that crack.
those,
Yep.
all those platforms.
We'll see you somewhere on the comedy scene where you next
Yes.
gigging. We were gigging on Saturday night in Millennium Forum, which
Yeah,
was
and
great crack.
Saturday night in Millennium Forum was brilliant. This Friday, I'm in the Devonish complex. It's a big charity gig. It's nearly sold out, I think, but there might be a few tickets
Nice
left
one.
if you're interested in
There
that.
you go, Friday night. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, that gig's over. So
All right,
it'll
yes.
be no good. Yeah, I'll be all right.
Don't worry about it. Look me up.
Brother, thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
no,
you so
this is
much
the
for
other thing.
having
So
me.
normally what we do is when we have a guest in, every guest gets a chair themed name.
Ooh.
Now, last week, people sent me a message and went, why did you not stick with Mickey's original suggestion
Which was?
for William Thompson,
Oh, right, okay.
which was wheelchair and Yumz, right? So I said no. And I spoke to William. I said, I'm not fucking doing it. So he was the recliner because he's
Right,
you know,
okay.
laid back. So
Will I
yes.
be dick chair and Yumz?
No.
Since I've seen Mickey's. Okay, sorry. Right, stop it.
So yes, we like to come up with a. So I mean, we've had quite a few. We've had a few have been taken already.
Right.
You know, so armchair and busted sofa and
Lazy boy.
the lazy boy and Yumz.
I'll do the lazy boy and Yumz.
No, that's Mickey.
Yeah.
You've done that already.
Done it already. Yeah, I'll be Divani. Divan.
I thought about the
sofa.
chaise lounge.
Do you know, actually, can I be the chaise lounge? Because I'm
You
laid
can
back.
indeed. There you go.
And also, there's a brilliant wee song out there that's like, all day long on the chaise
Wet leg.
lounge. Yes! I love, Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I
got
had
the
a
big
degree.
D.
Oh, yes, yeah. All
Although
my
my
friends
friends
call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. I love you.
I played that, right? And my wife went, is the big D not supposed to be about D? And I was like, yeah, you get the joke. Like,
Yes,
no.
darling,
Yeah.
it is. But she wouldn't know anything about a
No,
big
she
D.
doesn't need Only my ma does. Right, okay. On that note, thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next week with another guest host. Thank you very much, Bronagh.
Thank you very much for having me. Loved it. Fantastic. Oh my